What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with another market watch today. On today's market watch, we'll be talking about the ban list, and the fact that we should be getting the list relatively soon. The last April 1st ban list, well, it was effective April 1st, but we got the list before, and I think that we might see something similar to this. I mean, we can get the bans as early as today, and the market will go crazy on what's on, or realistically, what's also off the ban list. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, and comment down below. And if you want to be notified whenever I do my live streams, please make sure to click on the notification bell. Now, let's do the comment question of the day. What one card do you think is going to be going on, and what one card do you think is going to be going off the ban list? You know me, I've been ranting and raving about Maxx for I don't know how long, but I'm also looking at other cards like Harvey's Featherduster and Vanished Emptiness. These are great contenders to come off the ban list. And as far as going on the ban list, I mean, it's easy. We could say Block Dragon 1. Some people want it banned. We could say dinosaur cards, but it really depends on what Konami has for the plans for the future of the meta. But in this video, we're going to be going over a bunch of cards that can probably come off the ban list, or probably has potential whether it moves within anywhere on the ban list. The first card up is going to be Stratos. Now, I'm not saying this card to go on the ban list. I'm just saying Elemental Hero Stratos has a lot of value. Ultimate Elemental Hero Stratos coming at OTS Solar Pack 9 with a $77 market price. It's currently at $90. I don't think this card's going to be going on the ban list, but I just want to talk about it. There's a couple of cards I want to talk about, just the crazy market prices. And here's one of them. I mean, wow, $90 for this card. This card for a while was $25, mind you. We also have the Stratos Field Center token. Some people say they're real hero players, and they play competitive hero. Sure. Where's your Field Center token? You get a regular version, roughly around $74, and it quickly goes to $80. And then you get the sealed ones that are roughly around $90 to $120. Make no mistake, this will be worth a lot of money. This is a hero thing that came out of UDS, an event which is no longer happens. This thing is going to be crazy money in the future. Before we get about other cards of the ban list, I just want to say, IP Masquerade from yesterday to today rose $300. The current market price is $500. It was roughly around $700 actually, $600 to $700 for IP Masquerade, and now we're seeing it roughly almost near $1,000 for this card. Starlight Rares being Starlight Rares. Also for Orchestrated Return. Now, I don't know if Orcust is going to get hit in this ban list, but if Orcust either does get hit in this ban list or proves not to be a meta deck, your Orchestrated Return coming out of Soul Fusion, which is likely to get a reprint in the Megatons, holding a $30 market price. Well, the unlimited versions are 26, the first edition versions are 27. The market is slowly dropping these. Keep an eye on this card. It is going lower and lower and lower and lower. Could Orcust be good? It can be a tier 1 deck? I guess so. But we really haven't seen much play with Orcust. A lot of YuGiOh players, even on the online tournaments, have access to the new Orcust card. And, well, new Mech Knight card, whatever you want to call it. And realistically, most players are still playing Emancipators, Eldritch, and most recently, Sky Strikers. So we have Chaos Dragon Levineer, and I talked about the Ultimate Rare and how the fact that it's $50. Chaos Dragon Levineer right now is roughly around $12 in the market price. An unlimited version is about $14. A first version is $17. What happens is the Ultimate Rares go up high in value to the point where nobody wants to put that kind of money in. So people turn to the Secret Rares, which look really nice. One thing about the Secret Rares I will say, definitely got to give it to them, is I like the text on the bullet points and how they are. The Ultimate Rares bullet points all over the place. It looks kind of weird. The Secret Rare text of Chaos Dragon Levineer, I'm telling you, good bullet points. I mean, I don't know. It's a good card. We also have Cyberlord Fusion for any of you Cyber Dragon players. The current market price is $31. And guess what? It's going lower. Well, shortly. There's one listing at $26, and then it goes back up to $30 for Cyberlord Fusion. This is a really good rogue deck. Like, really good rogue deck. And I think a lot of players are going to respect this deck, or to come in and take a lot of wins. We also have Elder Entity and Tis, a card that's slowly been rising up out of 2017 Trash Megatons. This promo actually is slowly starting to get bought out. I mean, it currently has a $4 market price, and there's only one page left. A couple of walls, though. I mean, 6, 7, 9, 15. But the card currently is roughly around $5 for the version of Elder Entity and Tis. I'm not sure if you need 3 or not. I think it's for Dragons. I'm not sure if you need 3 of this or not, but, yeah. Run to your locals when they first open and run into the dollar binders. That's where you'll find this card. We also have Pot of Greed Ultimate Rare coming out of Duelist Pack Kaiba. Now, once again, I don't think it's coming off the ban list. I'll have some more other cards to talk about, I promise you. But looking at Pot of Greed, Duelist Pack Kaiba, $32 market price. And if you want yourself a version right now, well, you get an unlimited one for about let's say 42 to almost near 43. And if you want to purchase an ultimate rare pot of greed, $100. $100 for a definitely never coming up the ban list banned card. I don't know why, but a little fun side story. A long time ago, we didn't have fake ban lists, and the first fake ban list that ever happened in this game, pot of greed, was at 1. Well, young V decided, I'm gonna go and beat the odds. I ran online. I think I ran a Troll and Toad because they were like the Bible for YuGiOh at the time as far as buying cards. Bought an ultimate rare pot of greed for $26. Turns out, quickly enough, that ban list was fake. I kept it, and now it's 100. Sometimes things just work out, paisanos. Up next, guys, Plunder Patrols. Now, I don't know if Plunder Patrols are going to be good. I have zero idea. I will say I don't think it's a good idea to buy them because there's so much hype behind them. But we're seeing no prevalence in the market at all, the meta at all. And maybe there's some kind of hidden thing with Plunder Patrols that Plunder Patrol players are just gathering around saying, don't tell nobody, but I got an OTK, first turn FTK. I got a anything TKO, whatever you want to call it. We got this. Who knows? But right now, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of expensive to, you know, buy Plunder Patrol cards. I might build a deck core of this and make a video showing this deck. But to be honest with you, I really don't know 100% about it yet. I don't know that combo yet. I'm not in the Plunder Patrol super secret Plunder Patrol FTK deck Discord, Facebook group, MySpace. I have no idea, but I don't know. Maybe it is good. I gotta check it out and get back to you guys on this. The Aggressive Community is one card that's currently banned, and in OCG they have multiple copies of this. The current market price of the card, only solo printing at a Virgin Tempest, is $7. Well, looking at unlimited versions are roughly around 7. First edition is almost near $9 for this card. If this card came to 3, the price would go absolutely insane. And maybe it won't come off the balance. Who knows? But even if it came off the balance to even 1, it would rise high in price. I will say when this card first went on the balance, it was only like a couple of dollars, maybe like $4 for this card. And look where it's went. It's doubled in value by being on the bans. And that's something that we're going to follow up on with a bunch of banless cards. They're going to continue to increase as we get more and more bans. The hype of them coming off the bans will be real, and the hype was what is going to rise a lot of price points. Whether you agree or disagree, by the way, I think this card should always be banned, but whether you agree or disagree, it really makes no difference as far as the value. And that's something very interesting to note, even with the grass looks greener. Also, Royal Oppression, the highest version is coming out of Dual Terminal 4, currently $3 on the market. And yeah, it's $3, almost near $4 by the way. After that wall's broken, it's quickly to $5 to $6 for Royal Oppression. Now there's other versions of the card. This is a DT4. I think it's the highest version. Common, short prints, rares, and a gold version. But yeah, no, DT4 Royal Oppression. This card's relatively inexpensive right now. And I mean, could it come off the ban list? I don't know. Could it have hype of coming off the ban list? Oh yeah, definitely. And if that's the case, this card's not going to be low. And once again, let me know if you can find any packs of DT4. Let me know if you can see any of those dual turner machines with DT4 that you can easily access for oppression. You can't. The card's relatively low in value right now, and if you don't own this card, you might want to get on top of that as soon as possible. We also have Magical Spring. Now, this card only has 2 printings. The 2015 Megaton as a secret rare, as well as the original print in Duelist Alliance. This card sporadically comes into play, rises in value, and then goes away and goes back down to nothing. Look at that Magical Spring with a $1.40 market price. The current value of Neiman First Edition, 53 cents. Lightning Plate's half that almost, about 28 cents for Magical Spring. Do you have yours? How many? Well, you should, because the last printing of this card is about 5 years. So, you might want to get on top of that. We also have machine duplication. So, I did a video earlier today showcasing you the new Appliance set. And in it, I mean, everything looks machine duplicationable. Look at the machine duplication out of Rising Destiny. Ultimate Rare with a $30 market price. Unlimited versions of the card, $31. If you want to lightly play First Edition, $60 for machine duplication. The hype is real. Let me hit a quick refresh because I just did that video and yeah, 36 lightning play unlimited and 60. I'm sorry, 37 lightning play unlimited and 60. Machine dupe. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think that deck's good at all. I feel like we haven't seen the full rest of that deck. I think it needs a boss monster. Although there could be amazing good link in the future that could be used with that deck. Who knows? But as it stands right now, that deck is like a ripped person with no head. Sure, it's ripped, but it's dead because there's no head. That's what I think about the new appliances. But the hyper machine duplication with appliances is going crazy. Now, this is for the Ultimate Rare. It also got a super rare printing in OTS Pack 8. That's roughly around $4. It's not that bad, to be honest with you. Ptolemaeus, and there's only two printings, the ultra rare and the ultimate rare, coming out of Cross Souls. This card's holding a $6 market price. Well, looking at Let You Play Unlimited, it's roughly around $6. If you want a first edition version, it's gonna run you around 12. In fact, after that one's gone, they hit 15, and then quickly moving on to 20, where there's a 17 wall of Ptolemaeus. The hype of this card coming off the bench would be huge. This card coming off the bench would probably, realistically, not do much. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's gonna do much. I think it'll be the hype and the fear. In fact, I was talking about this in my live stream just as, a couple of hours ago for you, last night. Maxi coming off the ban list. I think the reason why Yu-Gi-Oh players fear Maxi coming off the ban list is because they fear what happened to them when Maxi was last being used against them. Not when they used it, when it was used against them. And they think mentally on that past meta. Because back in the day, you dropped Maxi, your opponent didn't have that many responses. Nowadays, you drop Maxi, well, Ash Blossom Joy Spring, Solemn Strike. That's a good card. That's also at 3. You also got Called by the Grave. Oh yeah, and you also have a field full of monster negates if Maxi doesn't get dropped on time. So, I don't know. Maybe with Ptolemaeus, it could be the same thing. Maybe with any of these cards, it could be the same thing. Yu-Gi-Oh players focusing on what the cards did to them in the past without realizing that we have a lot of new cards right now that could change that outcome drastically. One thing that's really different is Fantastical Dragon Phantasme and how the fact that this card went super low, like I said it was going to go, and then go really high. In fact, you can check out my previous videos on which I talk about that. Fantastical Dragon Phantasme with the Ultra Rare reprint, which is still going low, mind you. The Ultra Rare reprint used to be 22. I think we last checked it was like 17. Is it 17? Let me see. $17? Okay, $15 for the Ultra Rare reprint. And the secret version of Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, completely different. Currently holding a $30 market price. You can get a Let You Play Unlimited for about $28, sure, all day long. But if you want a first edition version of the card, that's going to run you a lot more. First edition versions of Phantasmes are already up to $42. Now, they're not back up to $115, but $42. Why is the Secret Rare rising, you say? It's a great question. We should look over at Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, because it did the same exact thing. We can look over Infinite Permanence. It did the same exact thing. We can look over Evenly Match. It did the same exact thing. Just because it's a reprint of a really rare and needed card like Phantasme, Ash Blossom, Evenly Match, whatever it is, the price point of the original print Secret Rare will drop down temporarily. If there's no follow-up printings, and in certain cases like Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, there will still follow-up printings which held their value down for a while. When that stops, Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to be running to the original print max rarity. In this case, first edition Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. And yeah, this is a good card to get reprinted in the makings. Hopefully it does as a Secret Rare. And that will lower the price point of Phantasme. I give you that. But it won't hold the price point of Phantasme. If the card shows meta play or has potential of showing meta play, the price of Phantasme, like we see here right now, is rising. It's rising because it's a good card. And it's also rising because it's ultra rare or secret rare. And the competitive Yu-Gi-Oh players that have the rarity bug itch is going to be going for the original print secret rare. It's common knowledge if you have the sickness. Now, Firewall Dragon is another card that is rising. I remember when I first mentioned it on my I'm not sure it was this ban list or last ban list. Everyone in the chat roasted me. I mean, I got abused. V, I love you. You're the greatest. You're usually right on everything. I gotta stop you on this one. Alright. Firewall Dragon, original print out of Code deals with a $5 market price. Currently, well, $10. First edition versions are still roughly around $11. And then the card quickly goes to $15. In fact, $16 for first edition Firewall Dragons. It's a banned card, but it's rising in value. The hype, the anticipation. Yu-Gi-Oh players that don't own one that want to go in and grab one, here it is. Little fun fact, as time goes on, the value will increase. As more Yu-Gi-Oh players see this card and fear this card, they want to own this card. So if it ever comes up the ban list, it's going to rise. That's how Firewall Dragon works. That's how banned cards normally work, especially now as we got more and more eyes looking at the secondary market. It's a fact. The Market Watch channel, the Market Watch Facebook page is growing exponentially. It's because everybody wants to be in on the know. Nobody just wants to roll the punches, because if you roll the punches, your wallet's taking the beating. If you're in on the know, you can get ahead. Excuse me. You can get ahead of everybody. Swap my own spit. You get ahead of everybody. And I'm not saying necessarily to go in and run right now and buy Firewall Dragon. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just letting you know the reasonings, the mentality of why this card is getting bought out. Why this card is slowly disappearing from the market. Yeah, there's two versions of the card. Sure, and they're both secret rare. Boom. Right there. And you can get a 2018 Megaton version. No big deal. Dead serious. $4, not too bad. because eventually these price points are not going to be this low. It's inevitable. We know this already. We've seen it. Fenny's entered a secret rare specifically at a Legendary Collection 5Ds with a $13 market price. It's currently roughly around $11 to almost near $13. Why is that? Because Oshii has it, and this is another great contender to come off the ban list. Some of you might go, "That's crazy, V. I don't think it will." All right, we have 3 Lightning Storms, 3 Twin Twisters. Harvey Featherduster might come off the ban list. We got a lot of ways to look at opponent's background and go, nope. And all you need for Vanny's Emptiness is to make sure they send 1 card they control to the graveyard, and it falls off the field. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy. But once again, being the mentality of the now, not in the past when we had like 1 MST or whatever the ban list was back then. And there's other versions. Once again, you don't need to own the secret rare. Though I will say this will get bought out first. Then ultimately the super rare, which is under $1 by the way, and then the common, and they're all good versions of the card. I own a bunch of each of these, and I like all of them. They're all pretty cool. In fact, if this ever came to 1, I would sell every single copy except 1 of each of these because I really do like them that much. Next, guys, we have Zodiac Broadbow. So we saw Zodiac Dragon come off the ban list to 1, and Zoo kind of came back, I mean, technically speaking. There's an Emancipated Zoo, which is pretty cool. There's Pure Zoo, but realistically it's called Zoo, featuring a bunch of hand traps. But what if Broadbow came to 1? Would that do anything for the game? I don't really know. But look at Zodiac Broadbow from Raging Temper's original Prince Secret Rare with a $2 market price. Unlimited version is about $2. If you want a first edition version, it's almost near $4. Still not that expensive. And if you want to go a little bit cheaper, you can get the Zodiac Broadbow coming at 2017 Megatins. It's about $1. Not bad, to be honest with you. Of course, we can't talk about Entis while I talk about Norden. So, Instant Fusion still 1. Why is it still banned? I really don't understand. In fact, I think if we ban Instant Fusion, we could bring Norden back to 3. It's kind of like a switch, you know? This card goes to 3, and Instant Fusion goes to 1. Not many decks are using Instant Fusion. Some are, maybe, if they're using the Predator Plant and Anaconda, sure, I guess. But, yeah, I don't really understand necessarily why Norden's still banned. It's just confusing to me. Then we have Ancient Fairy Dragon. And once again, banned cards should be less in value, right? Wrong. And let me show you something real quickly. You got the Ghost Rare's money. We know this already. It's Ghost Rare, obviously. $43 market price. Unlimited copies are about $73. First edition, no big deal. You got a couple of dollars on you in the shape of $230. After that one's gone, $270. After those are gone, $300. Do you got the money? No? Okay, that's fine. What about an Ultimate Rare Ancient Fairy Dragon with a $17 market price? Light played about $33. First editions, $67. Then $72. Then $100. See, this is what I talked about the other day when I talked about the Ultimate Rares going high in value of Ghost Rare cards. Ancient Fairy Dragon, even though it's banned, is still rising. It's still rising in spite of being banned because it's a Ghost Rare, and then there's a Ultimate Rare of the version of the card. Bans don't mean nothing to Ghost Rares. They're hard to get, and Ultimate Rares, and they're hard to get, and YuGiOh players want them. GX era cards are slowly being absorbed in the market. Specifically, the signer cards from 5Ds almost. And specifically, cards that are just hard to find in general, like Ghost Rares. And Ultimate Rares of the Ghost Rares. So what we're going to be seeing is this happen a lot more and more and more and more. Just because the Ghost Rares are gone, don't stop. Look at the Ultimate Rares. They're going to be rising in value, as shown here. So I might be the only person on planet Earth that thinks that Fishbowl Blaster should come back off the ban list. Then again, I just recently bought one for $20, so I'm a little bit biased. Fishbowl Blaster's highest revenue version coming out at Turtle Pack Booster 6, currently on the market for $20. I tied it as $12 market price, but nevertheless, $20 for this card. It's kind of cheap. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a good card, easily abusable if you ask me, in water decks, but now many YuGiOh players are playing water cards, and I don't know, I kind of like this card. I'm biased. I'm hella biased. I'm insanely biased. But if this card did come up the ban, it would definitely promote water. Konami is trying to promote water. What, with the new cards coming out, returning code, maybe Konami will continue to promote water. And if that's the case, this coming off the bans will definitely help the water deck a lot. You also have Fairy Tale Snow. And before anyone goes, that card's so good, V. In Master Rule 4, this card's amazing. You put it under the zone, your opponent's trying to put a monster, so you link lock them. Well, they link and they point down, and they have a monster, and then you bring out Snow, and you're like, go Shishi, and the monster goes to sleep. Okay, sure. But what about Master Rule? Well, I don't know, now. The card's good, and yeah, putting a Snow and putting a monster face down on the length zone your opponent is pointed to is a pretty big deal, but we have cards like Needle Fiber that point left and right. We have cards that point directly down. We have cards like Gizmic that are basically like Snow, but has another version of its effect. I think Snow could come back to 1, and I think it's kind of weird saying that because I hate this card. Fairy Tale Snow Super Rare coming out at OTS Tournament Pack 5 with a $4 market price. Currently, well, about $4 to $5. Quickly goes to 6, by the way. Just want to point that out. Yeah, I think this card could come back. If you're going to say, hey, we're going to allow Snow and all this stuff, I mean, we're going to get Gizmic and have a new version of the Gizmic family, why not Snow? I think it's a good card. I really do. It'd be really fun to see this card come back again. You know what we need coming back? Pantheism of the Monarchs. Now, I don't know if this is going to go up in value or not. I have zero idea. Pantheism of the Monarchs with a 51-cent market price currently is 40 cents. It's laughable. But I think Monarchs can get Pantheism and still be a good tier 2 deck. I mean, let's be honest. You got Pantheism, you got Monarchs. You Monarch extra deck domain lock your opponent if you're playing against like Animancipators. And if they don't draw a Lightning Storm, and maybe like Prankatops, they lose. Kind of fun. Winning with Monarchs in 2020. This card's not going to be huge, but it's still going to be cool to see this card coming off the bounce if it ever does. And then we have Pokemon cards. This is a Pokemon cards. I love Pokemon cards. Anyway, so this is my list of cards I'm thinking about looking at as far as what can come off the ban list, if it does get a chance to come off the ban list. And I do think that hopefully we'll be getting our ban list soon. Normally I just say a week after a set releases, but Eternity Code also was supposed to come out a while ago for us. So I'm hoping that doesn't affect or impact at all the ban list date. Realize, this is our June ban list. The next ban list should be around August/September. So the faster we get this ban list, the faster we can get the other bans, which is more or less the competitive ban list for the regional season. So even though this ban list is important for us Yu-Gi-Oh players coming back to locals and physically playing Yu-Gi-Oh, or us Yu-Gi-Oh players at home working on our decks and want to make sure our cards are good and what do we need to grab, the other ban list is way more important for us getting those invites, even though they rolled over. Hopefully Konami fixes that. But I still think this is a very important ban list. And I still think with Eternity Code, with the Megatins, this ban list has to be analyzed properly. And I truly think that out of the 3 cards, we're going to get one of these big cards coming off the ban list. This is going to be Harpy's Luster, Maxi, or Vanity's Emptiness. In my opinion, I think it's going to be Maxi first, Harpy's, and then Vanity's. But who knows with Konami? They make a lot of crazy changes. This past ban list was pretty bad if we're going to be honest with ourselves. A lot of things got locked on. And I think with this new ban list coming up soon, a lot of things will come off. And it'll be really exciting and really fun for us Yu-Gi-Oh players to not only play the current cards we have, but try new things. I mean, realistically, let's see how Maxi at 1 does. And once again, I don't think it's going to be doing a lot, but anyone who fears it, maybe it can overcome those fears. I mean, they said the same thing about Super Poly, Solemn Judgment, Super Rejuvenation. Maybe they'll say the same thing about Max C. Anyway, Puzzles, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please, make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit the like button if you haven't done it already. It's your boy V, and YuGoPaisanos, well, come on. You guys have a great day.